All right, so I invite you to lie down on your mat. And let's start with a deep breath, filling up completely, and then at the top of the breath, open your mouth and let it all go. And you can maybe place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly to also feel the breath a little bit more as we start in this position, with a focus today on the belly and on the core. So again, filling up, belly expands, and then as you move into your out breath, belly moves down towards your spine. Okay, just taking a couple of breaths like that. Okay, really engaging your core as you move into your out breath. All right, so now go ahead, let's do one more like that, one big one. And then hold at the top, and then exhale. Then you can go ahead, let your hands just move along your sides. And then from here, let's go ahead and just try lifting your knees up so that they're at a 90-90 position. You've done this before in class. And so just holding that position as you're in this position, continuing with your breath, and making sure to engage, keep the belly engaged. There should be just a slight little, very small curve here through your lower back. And continue to move with the breath. And then what you can try to do next is to take your left leg, your left foot, and just move it down towards the mat. And do this on an out breath. On the inhale, move your leg back up. Take another breath. And then on your exhale, move the right leg down towards the mat. And then on your in-breath, moving back to your 90-90 position. We'll cycle through that 3 or 4 more times on your breath. So breathe in, out breath, foot to the mat, in breath back up. Take a breath in between, exhale, foot to the mat, inhale back, and again, just moving again with your breath. Cycling maybe a couple more times. Okay, last one, take a breath. Okay, and then pause here on your, as you finish, you complete your out breath, and just pausing here. And now, if you feel like you want to do a little bit more here with this, you can go ahead now and take your left leg and just let it go down towards the mat. Okay, so you can go ahead and just let it rest there. And breathe, continue moving with the breath. And then what you can do here is just go ahead and lift the left leg up now and let it hover. Okay, and as you're hovering, that's where you're working your core here. Okay, again, trying to keep the belly engaged, leaving just a slight little curve in the lower back. All right, and then from here, take a breath, and then on your exhale, let's go ahead now and bring the left leg back up. Take a breath here. And exhale, now take the right leg down to just hover, hold, maybe breathe once or twice here. Okay, and then as you move back into an in-breath, you can go ahead and bring your leg back up. All right, let's pause here, take a breath, and then on your exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest and maybe just rock side to side. Okay, now what we can do is cycle through this one more time, just to really get the core activated. So we'll move back into our 90-90 position, making sure that you keep the breath flowing. I would suggest maybe working with a 4-4 count breath, so breathing in for 4, and then out for 4, and keeping that going throughout this. So let's go ahead, we're gonna do the hover one more time. So take a breath. And then on your exhale, let the left leg go back down. Okay, and if you want, you can just let it hover. If it's too much for you to let it hover, you can just go ahead and let it rest. But if you want to try a little bit, you could go ahead and let it hover. Okay, take a breath here. And then on your next in-breath, go ahead and bring the left leg back up. Take a breath. And then exhale, let the right leg now come down. Again, you can let it just hover, or if you prefer, go ahead and just let it rest. But if you if you'd like, you can go ahead and let it hover. Take one more breath. And then on your next in-breath, go ahead, bring it back. And then let's go ahead and just bring our knees back in. Just release that, and then let's rock side to side. Okay, from here, we're going to go ahead and roll over, and we're going to move into our tabletop position. Again, a position that's familiar to you all. Making sure here that your wrists, your hands are underneath your shoulders, that your hips are in line with your knees that are grounding down through the mat. Okay, and let's go ahead and come back to our breath, moving into a cow position here as you breathe in, and then your cat position as you exhale. And once again, moving through the postures, through the movement with your breath, keeping that 4-4 count if that's what you're working with this today. Okay, we'll do that one more time. In, and then back out. And then as you move into your next in-breath, we're going to pause in your tabletop position. Okay, so keeping the belly somewhat engaged here so that your back is relatively flat. Okay, and then from here, we're going to go ahead now and get that established. And then on your next out breath, go ahead and take the left leg back. Okay, trying to keep the toes pointed down towards the floor. Try not to let your hips, kind of roll up, but rather keep your hips as level as you can. Okay, once you've got that set and you feel stable, go ahead now and take your right arm up into the air. Okay, and here you're lengthening, so you're stretching forward with your right arm, you're lengthening back with the leg. Okay, keeping the belly engaged, your gaze is down, maybe slightly ahead. Okay, keep the breath flowing. Maybe take 2 more breaths in this position, maintaining your balance and trying to hold as still as you can. Okay, and then as you move into your next out breath, go ahead, bring the right hand down, bring the left knee down. Okay, take a cat and cow position or breath here. Just kind of reset yourself. Come back to your tabletop. Okay, now we have to do the other side. Okay, so on your next exhale, we're going to move into taking the right leg up. Okay, check in with your toes that they're pointed down towards this floor, keeping your hips level. Keep the breath flowing. Okay, belly engaged. Okay, and then when you're ready, go ahead and lift the left arm up now, keeping yourself as still as you can, reaching forward with the left arm, reaching back with the right leg, keeping the belly engaged and letting the air continue to move, right? Continue to breathe. Do not hold your breath. Okay, maybe take one more breath. And then as you move into your next exhale, go ahead, bring the left hand down, right knee down. And again, let's cycle through a cow and cat breath. Okay, always moving with the breath, and we'll do that one more time. Okay, and then from here, let's go ahead and now as you move into your cow position, and then we're going to move into a child's pose. So let your toes come together, open up your knees, and as you start to cycle into your exhale, go ahead and move into your child's pose. Okay, and here, okay, just noticing your breath here as you breathe in, the tummy will graze against your thighs. Okay, and here you're trying to keep your hips or your sit bones down towards your heels as you're also stretching with your fingertips and with your arms. Okay, breathing here now on your next exhale, you're going to move towards your right. You're going to walk your hands over to the right and just pause here, letting your left side body open and stretch with each breath that you take, keeping the breath really deep. Say one breath going up towards your armpit, one towards the center of your side body, and then one down towards your hip area. Okay, as you complete those breaths, you can walk your hands back to center. Notice how your body might feel different from the left side to the right. Take a breath, and then on your exhale, now walk your hands over to the left side. Okay, same thing. We're opening up the right side body. Okay, and taking nice deep breaths. 3 deep breaths here. Okay, you can let your head relax. I'm keeping mine up a little bit just so you can hear me. Okay, so, and now here, on your next in-breath, walk back to center. Okay, noticing if you feel a little bit more even now. And then let's go ahead, take another breath and move back up into our cow position. Okay, and then as you start to move into your exhale, you're gonna let your head come down, you're gonna tuck your toes in, you're gonna move into your downward dog. Okay, and here we are, first downward dog. So let's go ahead and just kind of pedal out our feet or pedal out our legs and knees, stretching the back of the calves here as we do this. Okay, you may want to pause in the middle, maybe let your, what we say sometimes, wag your tail, let your hips move side to side. Okay, and then on your next out breath, go ahead and look forward and just bring your knees back down. We'll move back into a cow position and then we'll cycle back to child's pose. And so we're going to get a little dynamic here. So we're going to just cycle through those three positions. So in breath, back to cow, out breath, downward dog, in breath, back to cow, out breath, child's pose. Okay, so cycling through that maybe 3 times just to get dynamic, warm the body up a bit. Okay. Cow, downward dog, cow position, and then child's pose. Okay, and this will be the last one. Cow, downward dog, cow, child's pose, and we'll just stop here in child's pose. Okay, just checking my time.
Yeah, you're good. 12 minutes.
Okay. All right, and then from here, let's go ahead and come on back up to our tabletop. And what we'll do is we'll do an upper body kind of opening here. So let's go ahead and take a breath, and you're going to move your left hand in towards the middle. Take a breath, and then just take your right arm up. Okay, kind of a twist and opening up through the upper trunk area, upper body. Okay, hold this, breathe. Okay, on your out breath, let your right arm come back down. Okay, let's cycle through again, cat and cow. Kind of reset everything. Pause and tabletop. We're going to move the right hand in, and now we're going to take that left arm up, okay, and look up if you can. Okay, hold. All right, and now on your out breath, bring the left hand back down, and we'll go ahead and do another cow and cat tabletop. And I think I'm going to, is that too long enough?
Yeah.
And let's cycle through one more time, and we'll just pause. We'll just end with our child's pose. That's a natural place to pause and end. Okay. All right. I was